in your mind, the Twins rotation is something.
Right.
But this is not the group that's that rotation. Like you're talking about now, the number 2 starter is probably Paddock, I guess, technically. The number 3 starter is Simeon Woods Richardson, technically. The number 4 starter is Fest, and then the number 5 starter, we don't even know who it is. Right. And it's going to be pieced together no matter who it is. So it's like they basically have Joe Ryan and a bunch of number 4, number 5 starters if you're being charitable. And so, whatever notion you have of the Twins rotation, it's not that. It's that one day a week when Joe Ryan pitches. That's the Twins rotation that you have in your mind. So I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's a bad combination, obviously. And the bullpen's got its own issues too at times. But the bullpen really is now the only even theoretical strength on this team, right? I mean, it's not the lineup, it's not the rotation, it's not the defense, it's not the base running. It's just maybe the bullpen. And it's hard to kind of maximize the impact of a bullpen when your starting pitching is giving up 3 runs in the first inning or 5 runs, and even the lineup can't score.
Even when you're looking at the bullpen, we feel like the top of the bullpen, which is the most important part of the bullpen in general, is really good. But we've just talked about what a drop off there is at the bottom, and one of the reasons why we're seeing so many blowouts is because of the way the bottom half of that bullpen is performing. But to your point about the rotation, maybe being worse than the lineup, what I would suggest is at the very least they've been more disappointing than the lineup. Right? We had much higher expectations for this rotation than the lineup. I think one of the stories we're going to have on Twins Daily sometime this weekend or early next week is just a comparison of the lineup between sort of person by person. What were their preseason? Why did we think they were going to be good? What were their preseason projections versus what they've actually performed?
By the way, we didn't think they were going to be good.
Well, we didn't. Why do we think they would be at least average, or why do we think they were going to be better than they are? Right? Where is the disappointment? Given that we know that Buxton's overperforming and Castro's overperforming, we know that everybody knows that Correa is underperforming. But just amongst the rest, like where is the gap between what we thought this lineup was going to be and where they actually are right now? Well, I think if we did the same analysis on the rotation, it might be a tough analysis to do because you get so many guys who are in the rotation now that we didn't even necessarily have projected to be in the rotation, but we would see even wider gaps, I think, in sort of what we were hoping for and what we're actually getting. So,
I mean, Lopez and Ryan both outperformed. Right. The problem is Lopez isn't there. Obviously, Ober now is greatly underperforming because he hasn't been himself for a month and a half.
Exactly.
And then, I don't think many projected Travis Adams making a start in early July, or if that's what it ends up being. I think that's probably what I think it'll end up being. But I mean, I don't know. It becomes, and to expand on the bullpen thing, like I agree with all you're saying, but it's a little bit like a football team that their whole sort of approach to winning is we can get us the lead late and we'll grind out the clock with our great physicality and running game. That sounds fantastic if you can get leads late.
Yeah, right.
It sounds great to have the strength of your bullpen and really now the only remaining strength of the team be like Duran and Jackson, Varlin and Stewart, Coulomb, etc. That doesn't do you any good if you're down. You have to get a late lead, and that's been difficult. I mean, that's hard
to do when you're out, when your pitching staff is giving up runs and your lineup isn't actually scoring runs, right? I mean, that's how we saw them win their game and win the game that they won in Miami, right? They ended up getting a tiny lead and they ended up nursing it through with a little help from some dead ball from the umpire.
Yeah,
through half of a game to Simeon Woods Richardson was pretty good, and then they turned over to the bullpen. The bullpen managed to eke out a one run squeaker through the to get the one win. But beyond that, they give up a lead early or they need to score some runs. We're just not seeing it. So. And welcome to the end of this video. There's lots more. For another, just click on one of these boxes.
Or click on this circle in the middle to subscribe to all of our Twins Talk.
Thank you.
Cleveland